Welcome to today's video. In today's video we're going to be seeing what is faster. Running, literally just running up the hill in fine moves, or taking a PostOp run. So right now, as you can see, we have the running run, which is a funny name I guess. The main difficulty here is trying to keep speed, because normal sprinting speed or whatever is, as you can see, 24, 25, sometimes 26 for like a split second. But the problem is when it gets too uphill, as you can see, it kind of drops down to like, 14 or something. Jumping, however, makes it a bit faster, so I have to kind of time my jumps right. But if I jump while I could sprint, like here, then it would be a bit slower. So I kind of have to look how angled the road is. Or angled, steep, better said, to decide if I jump. For example, here I can tell, okay, I'm never ever going to be able to sprint, so I'm just going to jump because it's going to be faster. And yeah, as you can see, like I got a little speedometer, so you can kind of keep up with what's happening, especially for these slow runs. It's kind of practical to see the live speed. As you can see, 24, quite fast, but then in a second it's gonna get steeper. As you can see right now, drops down to like 14, 15. And in the later runs, this will matter a little less, because we have a running run. Next up is going to be PostOp run, and then we actually have bicycles, because I also wanted to do bicycles. The title of this video, I didn't decide yet. So far it's on my draft as PostOp run versus running, but I could rename it to something else, so I'm not going to say anything about that. I'm just trying to find something good. As you can see, we're arriving at the top of Finewood at around 1 minute and 40, I think 46, yeah, 46 and a half, 47 seconds, which is, well, we don't know yet, a time. And here we have the PostOp run. As you can see, struggles a lot to get going, but then it goes to quite fast, 29. But then this is the big caveat in the PostOp run. It goes to 29, but then it shifts. It gets into a ref range where it's like, oh, I'm gonna shift, so it shifts back, or like shifts up. And then it gets into a higher gear, which makes it more difficult to climb. So then it slows down to 20, and then it kind of like struggles in between. And as you can see here, it really struggles. Overall, it's a little bit faster, as you can see, 29 and stuff. But if it really struggles, it gets down to like under 20 as well. Especially like I think in this section where it's, I think, one of the steepest parts. Yeah, here it shifts back and it drops down all the way to 13. Only for a little bit, and then it picks up again. And here, yeah, 11 even, like it's really struggling. This idea originally came from comments in my last video like a couple of videos ago, where I did PostOp run versus bicycle across the map. I took a race bike, and the race bike took the shorter route, but in the end, PostOp run won, because, well, it could take highways, and then the PostOp run is not ridiculously slow, right? It's only really slow uphill, as you can see here, but on highways it still goes like 100 or something like that, or 120. So it's not that crazy. But as you can see here, it's a bit faster. As you can tell by the time, it's gonna arrive in 130ish instead of like 146 from the running run, so 135. And actually here we keep it going, because it definitely beat the running run, but it's, for the bicycle run, it's actually more interesting to see how they perform also on the downhill in a second, because bicycles have interesting downhill mechanics. Well, interesting, I don't know, cars have the same kind of mechanics. You just go faster downhill, basically. But yeah, here you can see it speeds up a lot, reaches 110, 120, 130. Here I decided to go straight instead of left. Doesn't really matter for both vehicles, it's just a bit easier. And this thing keeps its speed a little bit better than compared to the turns. And here you can see it's a pretty straight line, big bend in a second. And this is where this thing reaches its top speed. A little spoiler, this is the highest speed achieved in, well, all the vehicles, with it 146 per second or 145. Maybe here 147, or for what I saw 148, I think. The main struggle with this thing is that it kind of sucks its turns. As you can see, I did little mistakes, but in the end, the time is gonna be 246, 245. Could have been like maybe 1 or 2 seconds faster, something like that, but not crazy, I guess. But next up we have the first bicycle. I took the, well, kind of the slowest bicycle with the cruiser, but you can already see that it's going quite well. Like it doesn't have gears, so it just stays quite consistent at like 25-30 range. As you can see here, it struggles a bit up the hill, but it still picks up a little bit of speed. Here it gets a bit steeper, but still keeps being above 20. So little spoiler here, as you can maybe already tell, it's gonna beat the PostOp Run up the hill. Down the hill is a different story, however, because every bike has a little bit different mechanics for downhill, whatnot. I think, well, maybe it's just the base speed which changed it. But yeah, this thing is not crazy fast downhill, so that's actually gonna be a bit tighter in the end. So, as you remember, the PostOp Run did 1 minute 35 uphill compared to the 146 for running. And this thing is, well, as you can maybe see, it's gonna do a way better time because it consistently stays at 30, never dropped down to 11 like the PostOp Run, and even here it goes a bit faster. So it finishes 20 or like 19 seconds faster with 116. But then here where you saw the PostOp Run sped up a little bit more, this thing struggles still, because the thing is, this thing doesn't have a high top speed, you know, on normal flat road. The PostOp Run still has a top speed of like 100, blah blah blah. This thing, I don't even know, but it's I think it's like 45 or 50 maybe, but it's really not that fast. I mean, in real life, this will be really fast on this kind of bicycle. I remember I did this once in Monaco, like I rented like a little electric city bike there, like this kind of. And I went down, you know, the Monaco, after turn 1, I went reverse, I went down, and I went like 60 or something like that. But it feels way more intense than this, by the way. Like, it felt really, really intense. And I went into like the roundabout that, what is it called? The cathedral? Is it a cathedral? But you know, Saint blah blah blah. Anyways, as you can see here, it struggles a lot more compared to the PostOp Run. PostOp Run was going here like 80, 90. I remember like down this straight, it went 145, 148. This thing, yeah, 60, 63, 64, 65, yes, let's go. But yeah, it's not really that fast. And if you remember the time from the PostOp Run, which was like 246, I believe. Yeah, 246, 245, 246. That's right now. So yeah, this thing is way outclassed. Uphill, this thing is faster, funnily enough. Downhill, however, not. This kind of just goes to show how bad the PostOp Run is, specifically uphill. Because it's just a normal truck, but like uphill, it's just... Yeah, I guess that's why so many people hate the missions when they go to Fireman, where they actually have to go uphill. And the problem is not really driving uphill, it's like when you get stuck. When you get stuck on the... Like when you crash into an NPC, or you have to brake, and then you have to get start. You have to start. It actually takes a lot of effort to get going and even just keep up with traffic and anything. And here next up we have the Scorcher, which is the mountain bike of the game. And as you can see, this does a lot better. It climbs up quite easily with about 50 km/h, and yeah, even in the steepest section it drops down only a couple km/h. And a little spoiler, this is going to be fast on the uphill. It's going to be way fast on the uphill. Like, see here, even the steepest part, 45. 45 was the lowest, and now it just keeps on going, and see, even 52. And the base speed of this thing is a bit higher as well. I think it's like around 63-ish, something like that, like low 60s. And yeah, it does it easily. If you remember 135 for the PostOp Run, this thing did 45, so it's way faster. However, now in a second when we go downhill, it's a bit of a different story. If I did normally, so now you will see I will do a bit of bunny hopping, not crazy bunny hopping, but a little bit. As you can see, this helps a bit with speed. If I just did it normally, it wouldn't go this fast. It would just kind of stop out at like 60, 70, I think. But yeah, it goes quite fast like this. If you do it well, you can get to like 100 and everything, but just doing it a little bit. As you can see, it helps a lot. You know, the PostOp Run goes a little bit faster here, but this thing has such an advantage, it's crazy actually. Because, like I said, you remember the uphill? This thing finished at 45 seconds. The PostOp Run finishes now. So now the PostOp Run starts going on the other section where it's technically a little bit faster, but it's already kind of too late. Like, it's not really a spoiler because you can see it. Like, you know, the finish is after basically one turn. And this thing is still going 80 or 70 or whatever. And the post-up van is, well, it's just going towards our dirt section maybe. And it finishes in 45 seconds, right? So, and we have, well, 40 seconds basically to go to the end of this road, to go to the stop sign. As you can see here, like, it even reaches 100 on this part, I think, in a second. Does it? No, it doesn't, but like it did before. Anyways, and we finish at like 216, which is crazy. And next up we have an even crazier bike with the Tricycle, like one of the race bikes. Doesn't really matter what race bike you take, they have the exact same stats. The only difference is one is blue, one is red, I think, and the other one is like lime green. And as you can see, this thing just climbs very well. It goes above 50, a little bit faster than the Scorcher. Not crazy much faster uphill here, but a bit. As you can see, it doesn't really drop down to the 40s. It stays in the 50s, maybe here. No, okay, it doesn't even drop down to 40. And we're already here, and now it goes up to 57 even. This thing has a base top speed, which is a bit higher than the Scorcher. It's like 73, 76, depending what you do. Because for this thing, you can go into the drops. So they like the little handlebars underneath your other handlebars, like this. And you can go a bit faster. As you can see, there's normal position, and now it goes back into the drops. You can see my hands. If you pay really good attention to the hands, you can see that. But this drops position actually helps a lot in flats a little bit. It gives you like 2 or 3 kilometers per hour faster. Downhill, however, as you can see now in the speed, it helps a lot. It keeps climbing past that 76, which is normally locked on the flats. And it just keeps climbing. It goes 100 right now. And this is even in its top speed. Like, we go here. This thing actually can make the turn to the left. I don't know if it's faster, but you keep up speed better. So one of the test runs I did for this, actually, I took the asphalt route, and I came into the turn with already 100. So here I would still be 100. And actually, I think I managed to get like to like mid 120s or something like that, maybe towards 130. But even here you can see it gets towards 120 almost, like 180 for a second. 19 and 120, yeah. But yeah, if you have a better run-up, you can even get to like 120, 130. And as you can see, it beats every time. Not super far away from the Scorcher, but still like, what, 18 seconds or 20 seconds or something. So in the end, yeah, this is way faster. PostOp van really doesn't stand any chance. Not even to bicycles, only like the slowest of the slow. So in the end, yes, the PostOp van is very slow.